Well, hey everyone, it's Andrew Breault. Welcome to this tutorial video. I'm going to be showing you something really cool that I figured out inside of KeyNote here on my iPad Pro. So one of the things that I like to do is while I'm doing tutorials, sometimes I'll sketch things out on the screen, like for instance, what you're looking at right now was just something that I was trying to figure out on how to create a landing page and then feed that landing page with things like YouTube videos and LinkedIn posts, Pinterest. I mean, you can kind of figure it out there just by looking at it. But while I was doing it, I thought, you know what? This is a really kind of a cool process. So here I'm going to go over to a brand new slide, and I'm just going to touch the screen with Apple Pencil. And as soon as I do that, you can see that it has now brought up a new screen that says, you know, tap a tool to select it and then tap again to see more options. And so we've got our, you know, our drawing tools down here. We have kind of like a pen type tool. So there you go. If you tap it a second time, you can see that I can change the size that it is. And it also just changes, you know, how bold just how bold it is. You can also change the transparency level of it. So you notice that's a little bit more transparent. All right, so let's go ahead and erase those real quick. This, I think, is meant to look like a crayon, but what I discovered is that when you write with it, it actually, especially with this background that I'm using right now, it actually kind of looks like chalk on a chalkboard. So it looks like I'm using kind of like a pinkish colored chalk. And of course, you can get to your colors just by clicking on the color palette. You can see I've got all different types of colors here, but you can also customize using Apple's really cool color wheel tool. You can just go in, customize it. You can make it darker, you know, lighter, whatever. Try to match it up right where you want it. And you can see that it's changing up those colors there in the color palette down below as I choose those different colors. So like maybe if I wanted to choose this one, does it actually replace it? I'm not sure if maybe I have to replace it somehow. I've not messed with that before, so I don't know how that works, but I'll figure it out. But anyways, I thought this was really cool. So I'm going to show you how I created the background first. And these tools, obviously, you know, you can go in and play around with them, get some different colors and things. I'm going to go back to the one that I was using. There we go. And then also on the erase tool, if you double click it, you can move from just like a normal eraser. So let's see, I have a line, and now I'm going to erase, and let's say I just wanted to like erase part of the line. You can do that, or you can say, hey, turn it into a full eraser, so that whole entire line would just disappear when I click on it. What's cool about that is if I have a couple of lines that are on top of each other, you can click that line and it'll get rid of the whole entire thing without affecting the ones on the other side of it. So there is actually some, I don't want to say layering, but just like you can do inside of like Microsoft Publisher, which we work a lot in there, where you can move things forward and backwards, you can also move things forward and backwards now inside of KeyNote on your iPad as well. Now this will work on an iPad Pro and the brand new 2018 iPad that uses Apple Pencil. All of these tools will work on either of those devices. I'm currently working on an iPad Pro 9.7. Okay, so let me show you how I got the background real quick, and then I'll probably close down this video and then start working on another idea that I have going on that I'll post a little bit later. But I wanted to do something quick just to kind of show you what I'm working on, partly because I'm so excited about how this turned out. It's really, really awesome. So all I did is I went over to Adobe Spark Post, and as soon as that is up and running, let me just make sure I'm logged in. Sometimes it doesn't totally log in for me here. All right, so here you can see I've used this background on a lot of different things. But all I did is I went to make a new post, and I said to go to the photo library. No, that's my library. Let's see, search free photos. So I went here to search free photos, and then I typed in Whoops, that is not how you spell chalk. Chalk. And as soon as you spell chalk, you get all of these different pictures here that have, you know, different chalk patterns and stuff. Now, some of them have words on them already, and I didn't want that, so I found this really cool background right here. And I went ahead and chose that one and said add. And then it takes a minute, but now you can choose what size you want. All the way from like the original, which I don't really know what size the original was. So I think what I did is custom sized, and I did it 4K, which there is not currently a template for 4K inside of Adobe Spark Post. But you can punch in custom dimensions from right here. And so I just went in and punched in the custom dimensions, which I don't know them offhand. I think it's like 2160 here. It's like 2160 by 30. Was it 36 something? I don't even remember. It's it's twice the size of HD, so 1920 times 2, 9 is 18, 3840. 3840 by 2160 is what you need for 4K. Then you just say all done, and then once that is set, you can go ahead and say done. Now it'll automatically add text, like a text box for you, but you can tap on that and just tell it to delete it. And once it is all gone, I can now come up here to where it says share, and I can go ahead and save the image. So that's now saved it out to my camera roll. So from there, we can go to KeyNote. We'll go ahead and say that I'm all done with this, and I'm going to go back out to my presentations. I just went ahead and said create a new presentation, widescreen. I think I just did the black one. And then I took and deleted everything off of the page, went ahead and added a photo, and then I chose that 4K template that I had there. So now I've got this 4K chalkboard on there. Now, I believe KeyNote only actually projects in 1920 by 1080 when you're doing widescreen. So if you do hook it up to a projector, even if it's a 4K projector, it's really only doing 1920 by 1080, at least right now. But in the future, it could potentially support true 4K, and so that's why I made that graphic in 4K, so that later on down the road, if I ever hook this thing up to a 4K projector and I'm using this exact presentation because it stays up in the cloud, I'll be able to I'll be able to project, and the background will still be in 4K. That's what I was looking for right there. Okay, so let's go back out here because I wanted to do one other thing real quick. And that is, I wanted to let you know, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please take a moment and do that right now. And then also, if you would, go ahead and post your comments down below. If you have any questions, I would love to feature the answer in a future video. I know this was short and sweet tonight, but I thought this was kind of cool what you could do with KeyNote, and I wanted to show you all how to do that. Hey, if you're not already following me on my other social media channels, you can come check out what I've got going on Instagram, Facebook. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn as well, or you can even tweet at me if you like. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.